Okay. I just started recording now, so let me redo. Looking for market structure first, right? Thinking about going into a trade. At least I am. No candle closes. We're on the 4 hour, so you definitely don't want candle closes unless it does something like this, where if it was a green candle, then that'd be a break, right? But it came right back down. So it's showing that, yeah, I got past here, but it got right back down. So you keep going. You know, you see little spurts of volume, but it's still going sideways, not really doing anything. And let's drag all the way over to where the price action is right now. And it's funny that this yellow line's at 46 cents because you guys will see exactly. Look at that. So the past again showed us how this was going to react. Every single time this broke over, came back down. This is a smaller chart, or I mean smaller market cap too, so the candles don't flow as nice. You'll see little gaps like this. Like usually like on Bitcoin, like the red candle will start up here, like it just, you know, it doesn't go all the way up here and then skip 3 cents, you know. For a coin like this, that's like 6%. So you'll see a little bit of jumpiness in this, but this is coming up. Volume is not impressive at all, so I'm waiting. My buy-in on this one was about right here, I think, somewhere right there. So that was my buy-in, right under the 618. I might have even bought somewhere right here as well. So this is a bull flag, remember? So easy, easy, easy. You just take it from the bottom, that swing low, right? And you see this one's pretty easy to determine that it is a bull flag because you see the flag. So you're going to just take this. I don't know where it's going to break out yet, but it's usually about 75, 80%. So I'm just going to put it right there. And if you see, it takes us to the 618, the 618 extension. So that's my target. You could even put a target in between here about the 382. So that'd be the 1, the 382 probably be about right here if you want. But as you guys can see, if this does break out, we are looking at where's my little bar at? Oh, here we go. So if it breaks out from right here, comes up here, that's about 100%, guys. And to show you how long it took the previous move, which kind of gives me an idea of how long this move will play out, January 31st to about February 6th. So it took about a week for it to do this move right here, which, man, I wish I knew about it a week ago, right? 365%. So again, guys, it'll go up here. And the second target, usually we're going to look at the 2618. It's $1.37. 3618 is 185. And the 4236, let me change this actually to the 618 just so we can see. Remember, the reason I'm using 618, usually these moves will go at least 3, but just to kind of give yourself an example, because you will actually find that price respects to 618 and the 382 the best. So 234, say we held this and say it just worked like clockwork, that every week it went up a market structure. Well, let's guess 2 months. 2 months, 3 months that it gets to here. Even from this point, guys, it's about a 400% gain. So the other upside on this coin, which I'll show you guys. Fiat on-ramp, you can connect your wallet, right? There's an NFT marketplace, it seems like. Launchpad, which I'm guessing it's newer projects, just like Binance does. You got staking. So I didn't even know that they had staking. Let's check out what this looks like. Oh, it's asking me to connect wallet. Let's just go to this mode. So as you guys can see, it's Uniswap, right? So it runs off of Uniswap. It's not anything different. But what it does is it is just an overlay, So it doesn't recreate the wheel. It just tries to improve it. Maybe put a new hubcap on it. So let's say we want to buy some snow. Why isn't it searching? What's going on? There we go. Snow USDT. Order book doesn't show that, but it shows you the trade history. All right. So there's quite a bit of volume coming on here. Snow ETH. Let's do this USD just so we can kind of show you where it's at. Okay, I guess this chart's not gonna work. Anyways, you guys can kind of see what it is. This will do well. Let's see how this fiat on-ramp works. I think this would be the biggest feature about it. If it's cheap and if it's quick, then we should be good. So
hopefully it works.
Is this the site? Anyways. You guys see the site a little bit. I wish it was working a little bit better. Well, let me go through some of the fundamentals on this. I guess I'm doing this. Maybe I should have prefaced it. This is what I do before I get into a token, right? It doesn't matter how good the chart looks. It doesn't matter how good the chart looks. Get in the token, see if it's worth it, right? Because this chart looks good. You know, we can all agree it looks pretty bullish. As you guys can see, 45 cents. The market cap is just under 9 million. 24-hour trading volume is pretty high, especially for such a low cap. Circulating supply. So there's only 40 million. There's only 40 million, which is not much, guys. That's about double of Bitcoin. Still very small. But let's read. Unilayer is a new generation decentralized trading platform built on top of Uniswap. Enables key features for professional level trading, focusing on automated swaps and liquidity management. Nothing new. Flash staking. Flash staking. I've heard of flash loans, but I'm not sure what flash staking is. Charts and analytics, live order books, and a lot more. Cool. So you guys can see where it's being traded.
Hey, Mike.
Only 2 of them are getting Hopbit and Uniswap. Okay.
Hey, that fiat on ramp.
So that's that.
You got to connect your wallet.
As you guys can see, this is what I would picture in my head. Is it comes up to this point, right? So it'll hit this, and then form another bull flag of some sorts, right? I know it's not going to go straight up like this, guys. Just bear with me. Right? And then it'll go up enough with enough juice. Take it right here, right? You get another bull flag. All these are opportunities, and this could not happen as well. So obviously keep that in mind, right? So, okay. And then this is usually where it stops, this third extension, right? This is kind of what the structure will look like. As you go up, you have these pumps, and then you consolidate, right? Go up, consolidate, maybe come down, maybe come back up. And you got one more. And depending on how the volume is, you may be looking at wanting to get out, because usually this is when it kind of poops out. It'll come back for a major retracement, probably hit one of these 618 levels. We'll have to just see how the price action plays out, right? But that's an example. That's what I'm seeing. So when I'm telling you guys, oh, you know, I see this, or how many gains for this, in the near future, it looks like Uniswap or Unilayer rather could be a couple dollars. So that is awesome. I got money in there, like I said, waiting for some trades to finish so I can get back in. As you guys can see, Bitcoin's still falling. So we'll go to this, a little bit more traditional chart. Most people that aren't aware like you guys are probably selling right here, right? Because they see this big red candle, it scares them. If you guys look at volume down here, it's not lackluster, but it is higher than average. So you do want to be careful. You want to see a reverse or something. But unless we get some volume, guys, it's a Saturday. Remember, weekends are low volatility, or not low volume, rather. So yeah, low volatility sometimes. We're going to expect it's going to get pulled down to this magnet, right? This last time. Bounce up, bounce up, bounce up. Come here, bounce, 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 right? Come back up. Going to retest this. And look what happened right here, guys. It didn't hit it perfectly. So let's see if that there you go. This is all about back testing, guys, too. You know, you're gonna find your own strengths, some shit that doesn't work, that does work. We're good. See, it broke through, but came back down. We're good, broke back down, broke up, tested, broke down, broke up, down. We already found our market structure, right? As you guys can see, prices respected that pretty well. So this is the hour chart, so not as, it's a little bit more obviously higher confirmation level. Up, down, up, down. So this is where I would put a buy, but again, you want to watch volume. So say volume just like doubles up and gets right here. It'll probably take us down here, right? Because we still have this pattern in play. And these lines pretty much go on forever. You can draw these lines. Obviously, if there's previous price action all the way up here, I'm sure we can't really tell. But most likely we'll come down and hit this channel right here. So what is that? It's a Tuesday morning. Yeah, 8%. 8%, you know, you can't complain. Even if you're up here and you have to hold it, it's fine. Again, we'll be back, or at least I believe so. So this would be your buy-in. You would have the buy-in zone. You want to look back at your previous candles and see where they wicked out. So right. Buy zone, baby. Or if it's not a week, or if it is a weak move, right? And there's not a lot of volume that starts to come in, it'll probably bounce off of here. Maybe a couple wicks right here. So just be ready. Set some alerts. This is what I do on TradingView. You right click, add alert, BTC breaking down first support, or weaker, right? Weaker support. That would either be my sign to sell or to start watching. for something like this. In my order, I'm kind of looking at these wicks right here. I'm thinking, okay, I'll put it right here. BTC breakout. Okay, perfect. Now, what's important here, we want to make sure we're not forming a bearish symbol. And it's called a head and shoulders. So I know I've showed you guys the upside down one. That's bullish, like this one. But now this one is pretty bearish. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Say price goes from here, comes up, comes down, comes up, come down. Now that is a head and shoulders, right? So this is the head. Remember the shoulders. This will be invalidated if these shoulders go any higher than, like, I'd say 8-10% in my mind. But if it's close, then perfect. But that is the bearish scenario. So again, you guys are going to want to have the, I was wondering why it wasn't deleted. I was like, what's going on? Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that's the bearish scenario. Let's say the bullish scenario. This would be my bullish scenario. It has to come down and touch support. Come back up. Up. And the reason, let me draw my fib for you. Perfect. Okay. Hey guys, I'll be back. I'm gonna get some water real quick. 1 second.
Hey, just to give everybody a heads up on the 1 inch, I mean not the 1 inch, the unit layer. Basically what he was having troubles because you have to have your wallet on MetaMask or whatever you're using to connect to Unilayer first before you can do the on ramp. I'll see if he's gonna go ahead with that. Still or not.
All right, y'all. My bad. Okay, so I'm back. I had to go use the potty. So let's go to Coast. Let's go to Coast and let me hide this. Where do I have my Coast? Okay, let's do it on this one. I did notice it was moving, but it got rejected here. So we've identified this market structure, right? So we kind of look at this, and as you guys can see, we're in a huge pattern right here. So, I mean, when you're in these huge patterns, yeah, there's patterns in between, but why take your eye off the prize, right? So, as you guys can see, it's coming up. Let's see if we can identify where some of this market structure is. And we'll use the day chart since it's such a big graph. So we got one right there. I'd even say we got some right here, right? Because you can see respects it. Could even bring it up a little bit. You want it to touch as many of the wicks as possible. So that looks good. We bring this over. Nothing up here yet. Okay, so no confirmation there yet. Let's keep going, rolling up. Right there. And guys, you're gonna have to guess. You know, this could be wrong too. We just gotta place it. If you can see it's a pivot point. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. And it looks like we got it because every single time, if it breaks down, it comes right back down. So it's showing, so that you got another one right there. Let's roll over and see if the fib has anything to do with it. And look at that. Pretty close to the 5 fib. So again, the fib is doing a lot of the hard work for you. You could even find some structure right here, right? Touch, 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 no breakthroughs. One breakthrough, touched up again. And this is called a bearish retest, guys. So a lot of times, if it's not a huge dump, say something dumps, right? Wow, Bitcoin is getting eaten up. I just want to check that out real quick. So like say something right here. Say you get this sell through. It's not huge volume, but you can tell that volume's kind of stagnant. So if you're seeing it going down, you told yourself, hey, I bought right here. It went up here, it got rejected. So you told yourself if it broke this level, you're just gonna, claim a couple percent. Well, this is the day chart, so that's still like 10%. That's not bad profit. It broke down. If it's not high volume, then I would wait I would wait for that bearish retest, what it's called. So what makes it bearish is the fact that it continued to go down, right? So it's almost like they let the bulls that don't know what they're doing come up and just carry their bag. They're like, hey, we're going to try to get as much hold right here. So all this, all those wicks right there, that would be considered a bearish retest. See, no volume came through. You could almost confirm after the 1 or 2, you start seeing volume, you're going down, you're like, okay, this was like your last time to sell. You should have sold here. And as you see, it goes down, breaks through. This one, a little bit more volume than this break before, or almost similar, right? So again, I say I would have waited for it, but if I would have seen this, I probably would have sold. Just know that a lot of times you do see these bears retest. Continue breakdown. There we go. We could even put it right here. I think that'd be better. Honestly, yeah, I think that's better than where it was. Where it was before would have worked, but this is a lot cleaner. Bottom of candles, right? Touches, breakthrough, little bearish retest right here for the day. Remember, these are all daily candles. Then it broke back up. As you can see, kind of tried to do something, but still about average. Came back down. And now we continue our descent, right? So what does this show you right here and right here? So usually these sideways movements, this is where the big money's getting in. Honestly, probably all right here, right? Because they can afford to put in a floor put in right here multiple times. So somebody said, nope, it's not getting any lower than about 4.5 cents, right? So it came up, tested this again, right, from the past. So tested it again. You would have already kind of had an idea of where it was going to touch. So this volume came in. This is usually the buy signal that you're looking for. It's tricky. It's tough because you get in here, it could come back down, but you see this volume, and even though it got rejected, this is your sign to start accumulating. Almost you had found your accumulation box, right? Because it's still going sideways. It's going up and down, but in the big picture, it's going sideways. It's not going up. So basically all this, I know this is a huge zone, but remember, about 100%, right? So this is a huge zone, but really anything you're getting below this breakout is solid. Yeah, you miss out on 100% down here, but how did you know this was the bottom? Right? Because we had this price action, and then we would have had it up here. So yeah, it would have been maybe just below the 786, right? But a lot of that would have been buy signals for us. But as you can see, 786 is pretty good support, because even down to the T, look at that. Look how close that is, but right on top. So respected it. So you could get in basically anything right here. You don't want to get into this point, especially if you see a breakout and then you see volume kind of lackluster here. It's just going to come back down, probably to form that double bottom. Patterns try to find their ways into double bottoms all the time. I mean, you hear Les talk about them all the time. That's probably his favorite one, and I don't blame him, because they not always, but they're very high chance of breaking through. So now you ask, okay, well, it broke through, but if you see on the daily chart, our line of market structure was confirmed again. So right here, huge wick, got shot back down. So good volume, but no breakout. This was okay volume, still pretty high compared to the rest of the time. And it broke through. As you guys can see, it come up. A lot of people got stuck up here again. Well, Bitcoin started to take off too, so that didn't help. This was, the day Bitcoin kind of went up to. So
yeah,
this
I
was
was
yesterday.
gonna send you the invite to join the Telegram group so you can start getting info and
first off, this
learn
wick
from
touched
it,
the 236.
So when it's time to start trading, you can
perfectly.
do it.
You could put it right here, not any lower. But usually I don't even put it right on the line. I put it a little bit
Look
higher
at
just
this
to
way.
make sure
We
I get
help
in.
people with like $200, $500 to make money,
Now
man.
you had that, you know, you had that pullback. I'm not going to call it a dump. You pull back up and look where it is. It tested this line again.
Yeah, true
So it's
that.
showing you guys, unless there's a huge move by Bitcoin again, or you know, a huge retracement, it seems like this is ready to go. It seems like this is ready to go. So I will watch
Yeah,
your
that's
eye
me
on
too,
this,
man. I've
especially with
been
all
falling
the, you
asleep
know,
during
we've
the
seen
day
almost
and
every
night, and
project
like I've been
have some
having
sort of a
broken
run.
sleep.
Consento's really hasn't yet in the grand scheme of things. So now we know, all right, this thing's primed and ready to go. You got your bags, hopefully. This is the best place to buy under here, right?
Ring, ring, ring.
Let's start to see if my price targets that I have for myself match up with what the numbers are telling us on the chart. This is important because you could draw the fib, but you could draw the fib wrong, or draw the fib, or like how not a lot of people are seeing it. So this one was pretty easy for me to see. I saw all this again, broke through, came right back up.
From the last stimulus where
Went
I
through, went back up, bearish retest.
Nice.
So we got another level. And you just keep stacking them. And I know it seems like a lot, but again, guys, it's the daily chart. So each of these, 10%.
Yeah, stocks right
They're not
now,
always
man,
identical.
I'd be careful, bro. I'd
But
start
they
looking
should
into
be
getting into
close,
crypto, and not
right?
long-term staking, but
All
actually,
these, this one will probably be the largest.
no, it's different.
Bigger.
It's
I probably
different,
could
dude.
fit one right in here. It looks like it's telling
It's
me.
way different.
Probably right there.
The percentages
We'll
are
leave it.
nowhere
Just so you
near.
guys know.
Percentage wise for the day
10,
is
11,
nowhere near
12,
what
10.
crypto.
And we just keep stacking this.
Well, yeah,
And it's a pain in the
yeah, the
butt.
charts
I know.
look the
You
same.
just sometimes you want to get into trades, but I suggest you always do this first. So we're looking for the next. I think it's right there, right? So broke through.
Yeah, no.
Back down, bearish retest.
I do
came
like
back down,
week long
broke through
to a
again.
month long trade. That's what I do, because
Tested,
now
broke through.
what I've learned is I stay away from the 1
Finally went
minute,
up.
the 5-minute charts, all those. I
Went quite a
don't
bit
get
up,
nowhere
right?
near
And it
those.
came right
The
back
lowest I
down.
go is a
Tested,
15-minute chart,
broke through,
and that's only
broke
to
through,
execute
broke
my
through, right?
trade.
You don't want to be
But I
trading
go
in this,
off of the
guys. This is
the day,
brutal,
the 4, and the 1 hour.
broke through.
So
Let's do this next level.
Can you do options?
And
you
it looks
can.
like
There's
it's
some
right
places
there.
that have options, but
Again,
normally I
breakthrough,
just
but
stick
break back
with
down.
spot trading
Touch, multiple
without
touches,
leverage,
break
because
through,
leverage will
break
kill
through
you,
up,
man.
break down.
If you don't know what
And
you're
then to the
doing,
T
leverage
right
will
there
kill you.
with these two.
So
They just not have enough gas.
my bad.
So we're gonna keep putting these along here. Break through, break down, break through, break down. Again, getting these confirms. Touch up. Break through, break up, break through. Okay, so you guys are getting the hang of this, I hope, right? I'm not just doing this to show off and show I know how to do this. Just how I find it. It's all trial and error, right? So as these bars get bigger, it's going to be a little bit harder to identify the market structure, because you're just going to want to make big big spaces. But then that's when you go into the 12-hour, 6-hour, right? You want to check. When you're drawing major market structure, I wouldn't suggest going any lower than the 4-hour. You can do it on the 1 hour, but again, since the candles are a lot more erratic, and there's a lot more that can change if you look at a chart. Well, look, like this. This is 1 day, but if we pull up the 1 hour, 1 day is like this, right? So it's easier to do it on the daily chart. You can do it as far down as the 4-hour. I just wouldn't suggest anything lower than that. You're gonna be you're not gonna have a good time. So I see one right here, right? Usually right between these candles, multiple touches. Again, nothing can actually break through. Or no, when it does break through, it doesn't come right back, right? So you're seeing that this is a pivot point for price. As soon as it goes up, it's bullish. Boom, down, up again. Man, this is brutal, guys. Look at this. This is price action 1 day. down 15%. Next day, up 34. Then you got this long old wick, this stop buster, 30%. Look how volatile this is. So when you guys start measuring the previous moves and you're like, okay, yeah, I know he's saying 200%, but that's crazy. But you see how much these moves are, and the volume is lackluster. You know, it's not strong volume, and this is happening. So let's go up a little bit more until at least to the all-time high. There's another one right there. Look, confirmations, touches, 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 broke through, came back down, broke through. All right, let's do another one. Yeah, right there. Right, breakthrough, no, touch, 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 breakthrough, break down, break up, test, break down, boom. Then we probably got about one more before we'll do that. There we go. So as you guys can see, you got a nicely charted graph. It's basically showing you where the price will break through, and it could break through multiple levels, but the chances are before at least a little retracement or consolidation are pretty low. Not pretty low, I just lower than not. So probability is on your side. Now, XLM trade is doing good, right? Coast has some volume coming in, but it's getting eaten up. Doge is doing pretty good, right? Looks like it's going to come back down and retest. Now let's go to Coast again. Now that we have the market structure and we've seen it for ourselves, what are we going to do? Where is this all lining up? This one right above the 618, right? So great take profit would be right here. Again, along the 1, along the 382, the 618. I wanted to raise it up. Yeah, let me adjust these settings real quick, y'all. Let's see. 113. $382. 2.5. Uh, 1618. Negative. Oh man, I added to the damn. Okay. All right, guys. This is what we're gonna do. Just measure this move. Let's just measure this move. That's all. Not even anything super experienced or long term. Remember, you get this move from the bottom, you measure it up to the neckline. Usually the neckline is along a bunch of wicks like this as its resistance, right? So you're gonna pull this, and it doesn't look very long, but look at the gains on it. So obviously we'll probably hit this one first as for measured move. 50% move that could happen any day. You guys are seeing some altcoins go up a couple 100%, right? So that's how we would get the first target. We'd have the extension up here, right? So you would expect hit the 5, probably hit the 382, right? That's about a similar size move. And if you do get it up there, the 25 cents, then that is definitely a double, right? A little bit more. I can almost bet you that this is along the 382. This is along the 5. 618, probably around here. So this would be my target right here. And you can see that this is where it pretty much tops out, right? And it could go past this. It could go past this, but I asked myself, am I happy with this profit? And I say to myself, yes, I am happy with this profit. So I'm gonna sell. Let's get rid of this. Does anybody have any charts they want me to share? Because I'm sure you guys are getting it, but might as well be doing charts that you want to see, and I'll post them in the group after. Let me know.
Hello? Hey, Mike.
Oh, I was wondering. My bad, guys. My volume was off this entire time. I was like, why is it so quiet? All right. Anybody, any charts? Let's get them out.
SKL.
Skull. Okay. So, let me save this chart real quick since I already did all the work. All right. So are you in the BTC or the Tether parent?
Tether. Tether.
Let's do it. Cool. So not a lot of price history on this, right? But right away, right freaking away, you can already tell some market structure, right? So let's just try the top of this. I'm just looking at this one over here first. So you can see right on top, multiple touches. Again, touch, 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 break through, break down, touch, touch, touch. Perfect. Came back down, retested it. Cool. So barring a huge dump, it looks like this is ready to continue to make new highs. You could see a little bit of a double bottom here. Let's make it to the 12-hour. If you guys ever, like, you guys see these intervals, you can have any interval. Like you could have 37-minute candles, right? Look, 37M. Oh, 30. Okay, so 37 minutes, right? And how you do that is on your computer. I don't know how to do it on the phone. You're just gonna type in literally when you're just clicked, nothing extra. Just type in 12 hours and then enter. Right, so that gives us a little bit more of a detail. Do you guys see anything right away? Anybody see a pattern right away that we can call out?
I see a W.
Wow. I thought I was gonna hear nothing. Okay.
Yeah. Several W's.
All right. Okay.
And an M.
Let's make sure that this is, yeah, just about, and about 10%, right? And it doesn't look like much on the 12-hour chart, but remember, keep your principles, guys. Don't bend your rules. This looked like it was just a pretty sudden dump. As you guys can see, this was pretty strong resistance right here. But you can see there's I guess these couple days, it was pretty rough. I bet Bitcoin was just kind of pushing. No, actually, this was when Bitcoin was kind of getting slaughtered for a little bit. Was this under 20K? I think it was under 20K. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was pretty volatile, but broke through, came back, tested it again, broke through. So like this, I still consider a double bottom. I know it goes pretty low, but this was kind of like an anomaly, a dump, right? But it showed right away that this was its true bottom. It can break through, but it showed that this is true bottom, as you can see right there. So you got a W. Let's see if it actually plays out. We'll do about midpoint from here. And then it looks like the neckline is right there, right? So once it broke through, boom, perfect. Perfect. Literally led us up to the next resistance level before we even saw price action. Because what you would have done, you would have seen this, just in breakthrough and start going up. You're like, okay, where's this going to go? If you would have placed your trade here, you wouldn't miss out on a little bit, but nonetheless, you got your trade filled. All right. So that played out. Let's see. It looked like this could have been an M, but it got some volume, right? Goes up. And as you can see, no huge pattern here. I mean, I guess you could call this a W, but the thing is that the bottoms are, yeah, I mean, we could bend the rules maybe, but like, come on, guys, let's just not consider it. Let's go by the book. We don't want to change it when we have a bullish bias, but maybe it's telling us it's bearish, right? So this one is just respecting a trend line. So there's really no fancy pattern for me to show you guys, but it's following this trend line. So the trend is your friend until it's broken. Just because it looks bearish, just because I tell you it's bearish, until some sort of pattern or structure or resistance is broken, you can expect the same thing. And as you can see here, skull is actually in a ascending triangle. I just realized that right now. So pull this down, right? You can see it's respecting this trend line, hasn't gone any lower, but it broke out on its top resistance. So the measured move for this right here, this little guy, let's clean this up a little bit. Draw the fib. You're not going to draw it from here. You're going to draw it from here. This is not natural price action. This is what is it, Les? How do you explain it? It's like capital getting infused into the market or something.
Yeah, it's like a rush of capital. It's like a rush of capital rushing into the market. Basically, as soon as it opens up, it's two factors. One, the people that were holding already, like the pre-sale token, when they convert onto the main net, it rushes. It's like a big rush into the market. And usually that's that first candle.
Okay.
Now, the other part of that is once everybody's hyped up, they're waiting for the new coin to come out and they show up. And then all of a sudden you get that full rush of liquidity jumping into the market. And when it does that, you want to make sure that in that first run up, don't think about it. You just get out at the top, period. The first red candle you see up there at top, you get out. And then from there, wait for it to come back down. You see it came back down and just buy the bottoms. And instead of using your money to buy those bottoms, you're using the money that you basically you're playing the house's money now. So that's the one strategy I would say for every brand new project you find. Anticipate the run up and then anticipate the fact that it will return.
And honestly, if you're new and that makes you nervous, just don't invest in it at all. Wait for it to pull down, you know?
Yeah,
So,
let it do what we call price discovery, where it starts to stabilize and it finds a bottom, like a stable bottom price, and then it'll move up from there.
exactly. Well said. Well said. All right, guys. So I hope that makes sense. I just learned that the other day. I thought these were like, man, who's stupid enough to, buy here? And no, but it's an infusion in the market.
Yeah.
I was always wondering what that was. So perfect. So you guys can see it's following this trend line, broke out. So it's showing that, hey, it's about to make a new pattern, right? So let's chart and see where this pattern should go. I mean, right away, what we can do is you're basically taking the bottom of this pattern to the top, to the breakout line, right? It broke out here, right on that line. So you want to put it right there. This leads us up right to the 5 and the 382. To be safe, I'd say your first take profit, probably right here, this zone. Maybe not too low, right? It'll most likely hit right here. Then what we would expect is either a retracement to right here or somewhere right here, right? So this would be ideal because you would be able to make money and then buy tokens back, right? So this is usually what we're looking for. When me, Les, Blacks, you know, Pedram, anybody takes out a trade, this is what we're looking for. Up, you're gonna see a bounce, maybe it comes up, bounce, and then we want to see a retracement either right here and bounce up, or you want to see a retracement down here and bounce up. Why? The strength of the trend going up will be it's usually affected. So if it does not, if this goes straight up and it doesn't come down and retest it, its run higher will be shorter. It's not going to be as prolonged. It's not going to be as parabolic. So you might ask, well, I just wanted to go up, right? I don't even want to deal with this. No, this is important because this is how I see it. So you broke through, right? And people are, you know, maybe they don't even know about this coin. And whoever called it out, that's cool. I actually followed this coin when it first came out and then just saw it, you know, start to dump. So I kind of forgot about it. But this is actually an ideal entry. You're right on top of the 236, right? You got support and you're not too high off of the ground. You could do this. This would be aggressive buy. And then you put your stop loss like right here, right? Put it about right there. So if you got your stop loss there, you're just going up. Ideally, like I said, we want to see this come up here, bounce down, then bounce back up. So let's say this first move hits, right? RSI is good, right? It's normal. I guess normal, about almost 60, so it's close. This is showing us, at least the momentum is that it's going in the buyer's favor, at least for the next, if you're looking at a 12-hour chart, I mean, you're probably looking at a couple weeks, at the very least, a couple weeks move. More like 3 to 6 months, maybe even a year. So, well, no, not a year for the 12 hours, I'd say like 6 months at the most. So, bounce here. What would be the next move? Well, you would have to kind of guess and say, well, what would be the next pattern? What if it's another ascending triangle, right? So what if it starts right here, right? And then let's use the 382 as the neckline. So say it continues this way up to the neckline, right? It's going price action. I'll show you guys some price action here, right? Come down, boom, touch. Come up, probably get touched again, right? Come up here, touch it again. Want to see it here. And once we get to this point, what are we doing? Right? We got to measure. So this was the bottom. Yeah. So the bottom right here is this resistance that turned to support, right? This 236 used to be resistance, or just about, right? This yellow line. So just about old resistance, newfound support. Okay. So now you would measure it again. You literally do the same thing from the base to like the top of the move, which would be about probably right there, right? Measure it at the breakout because we're using the 382 and it takes us to a full extension. So with Skull, I'm not sure who asked me, sorry, I have my boxes closed, but what was your intention with it? Was it a long-term hold? Did you have interest in maybe just doing a midterm, short term? Let me know.
I was gonna do midterm. I got in on the 3rd, February 3rd.
Okay. So let's see what your entry is. Cool. Okay. So I'm hoping you didn't buy all the way up here, right? It was somewhere down here.
No, I set a limit beforehand.
Perfect. Okay. So let's just guess you're right here, right?
Yeah.
So you're at basically the bottom of the pattern. You bought the top of this pattern, right? But remember, guys, in bull markets or any market, but especially a bull market, today's top is yesterday's bottom. So in a couple weeks, man, you're gonna have a great trade. You're just gonna let this ride out. And once this breaks through, you come up here. See, this took about 3 months. So I'd say your short-term target is right there. I'd say your short-term is probably right here. So let's say you just stagger your orders within this green box. You bought February 3rd. Let's just say you bought right here. I mean, that's almost a 50% move in a couple weeks. So that's not bad. Again, we don't see a lot of volume, right? So just because we're seeing that the measure move is here, 382, right? For this ascending triangle that it broke out of currently or previously, right? If we see a whole bunch of volume like this or more, so like if volume just starts to come up, I don't think this will hold. I think this eventually will go up here. That's usually what happens. So if it's a measure move at 382, but it has a lot of buy pressure, you could get some wicks up here, maybe not candle closes. But that first run, I would definitely set some take profits here, and then maybe just set a little moon bag just in case. But secure your profits, 50%. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So we have this bounce, right? You're just going to be watching this. So I would just watch if that were you. You could expect possibly, now that you have the trend line down, just because it drops to 236, it's most likely you'd say, it's coming down here. It'll probably touch here. And this is confluence, right? This confluence. Remember I was talking about this point would be pretty epic to show you guys. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. If it does work out and touches here, I'll show you guys the magic of this, the market structure. It's super simple, guys, really simple. A lot of people have confusing indicators and they use different things. I mean, so far, every time I follow my plan, because a lot of times I didn't, every time I follow my plan by, the charting, making sure I'm getting in when I get in, making sure I'm getting out when I'm getting out, it's worked out for me. And there was a period that me and Les actually went through so many different indicators. And to end this, I'm actually going to show you the last one, which is Zox. And I'm sure Les is going to want to, give you guys some insight on this, because this one can be a little tricky at first, but once you learn how to use it, man, it's awesome. It is awesome. So let me take this off. This will be a perfect indicator for skull. Oh, keep in mind the Zox only lets you do what's preset. So let's look at the day chart. Nothing yet, not enough volume, not enough data rather. Okay, so we have this chart and it looks like we already got the buy signal, right? So buy signal was this green candle, went up, got rejected, continue to go up, and it's good. You see how it's going down, and you see the MACD going down as well. This whole green line saying just hold until it crosses back down over this blue line. Then you're going to get a sell signal. And as you can see, the sell signals can be a little late. But for now, just to practice, I wouldn't even spend money on it. Just try to predict what coins are going to do next and draw your conclusions on your chart. Come back the next day, the next couple of weeks. If it worked, see why it worked. If it didn't work, maybe you see why that does as well. Maybe you missed something. Maybe
Hey, Mike. Now on that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that candle right there, it's not that it was late. What it did is as soon as it opened, it knew it was coming down. It actually activated it as soon as it hit that blue line. Because what happens is is as pressure builds and pulls the candle down, it pulls the ribbon down as well to cross over the blue line on the Zox. So it actually opened it up at the top, and it, as soon as it broke past a certain point, it told you to get out before it even got past this down levels, you know, further down. And basically when it told you to get back in, it was around a time where it was below the previous exit. So what it's doing, okay, so the way it actually works, it's kind of a delay. And so for instance, say it gives you the green signal. By the time you get the green signal, it's actually right at a beginning of a really strong uptrend, because it's already looked at the previous patterns, you know, and volume. Now once it comes back down, it's going to tell you ahead of time before you get even close to your buy-in location. So a lot of these, like, we're looking into the past, so you know we could see where it's at, but when it's active, what's happening is, say it tells you to buy at this point, even if it went down to that blue line, it will still be way above your entry level. So it keeps you from going back to zero. It's just a matter of volume. Volume really plays a big role in this indicator on Zox. Let's see, because that was the only thing with that one candle. You were saying it was late. It's not that it was late. It was already activated when it came down, when it opened on that last candle. It just, you know, that candle continued down. But I'm pretty sure wherever the entry was, which was back, you know, further back, it was way below the candle that was closing on that one transaction. I guess, what is it, on the 13th or 4th, you know, right before the 14th. So the 13th was the entry, and that same close, the close for that transaction was on the 21st, right? So if you notice, yeah, it closed, but it closed above the entry point. So when you getting in and getting out, it's always going to get you out before your entry point, just to give y'all a heads up.
Cool. So yeah, it's a really good indicator, as you were saying. You want to learn how to use it. Let me take the RSI off for now, just so we can focus in on this one, right? And I usually like Zox on a longer time frame.
Yep.
You can go in. I don't think any lower than an hour. Any lower than an hour, you're going to be scalping, you know, and it doesn't work as well, in my opinion. So let's look at where we got these buy signals, right? And you can see here where it kind of like, it almost faked you out, right? So for me, if I had drawn this pattern already, right? This trend line. And yes, if I got a sell signal right there, I would kind of wait to see what was going to do, because I had low volume. So just because you get a sell signal, don't sell right away, you know? Determine your surroundings, determine volume. What's the market looking like? You know, maybe you'll let it go a little bit lower. Maybe this is your break even point, or your break loss, your stop loss, right? But you see it goes back up, and then it gives you a buy signal at the top. Usually what I've noticed is every time you get a buy signal, there's a slight dump, not a dump, but a retracement, right? And again, right here, you can kind of see you had this sell signal, but if you're in and you see the line this tight and this sideways, then that usually means you're coming back up, right? So you don't want to front run this, either buy or sell. You know, wait for some confirmation, especially if you're new to using it. As you guys can see, it gave you the buy signal again on this candle. That's been pretty good so far, right? Because if you got the buy signal, even if you're about the very top, you're up 11% right now, and maybe 2 days. So not bad, especially for a coin that's kind of coiling up. Now, if this continues to go down, a lot of times you'll see they hit the blue line and it'll bounce back up. So really make sure you get a sell signal, and then you're going to look at the charts still. So just because you get a sell signal, still look at the charts, you know, like right here. I bet this would have been scary. But when you're looking at volume, it's really hard to get scared of these candles when there's not a lot of volume, up or down. Volume for me is, you know, huge. So we're on the 4 hour here. Let's go to the 1 hour, right? Maybe we see something different. Because really what the 1 hour is showing you is closer. It's showing you what is probably going to happen sooner, whereas the 4 hours delayed quite a bit, right? So what the 1 hour is showing you is that this Zox, it ended up going into the sell zone, right? Because you can kind of see this is where it was, I think. No, probably about right here, right? It's probably like right here, and you see it dip down. But look what we just got. So we got the buy signal. Oh, this is the 1 minute. No wonder. I was like, what the hell? My bad, guys. Don't scalp on the 1 minute using this. So in the 1 hour, you kind of see it's not the best pattern to be seen right here. This looks like they call it like a Bart head. I mean, it just, you can kind of see even an M if you want. It's an eerie symbol, but especially in bull markets, a lot of times you'll see this and then you'll see them break up. So bull markets, especially something as hot as this, kind of defy the candle graphics, it seems like. Let's see. Okay. Now, as we can see, we zoomed in the 1 hour. So remember, 4 hour, it still was good, right? But again, this only updates every 4 hours. So that's why you go into the 1 hour and it'll show you that eventually it did go below. So where was your sell-in point, right? There is right here, which was a little late, right? Because it went down. And this is not saying like this Zox is not saying that the price is going to go down. It's just saying momentum is going down, guys. Look at volume 2. Look at volume 2. So yeah, I mean, knowing me, I would have been upset. I'm like, man, missed 5%, right? Especially if I was selling for a loss or close to a loss. But if you follow the buy signal back there, you're still up anyways, even if you had to sell right here. So as you can see, it's kind of waiting there. You got to buy, you got to sell signal, right? But then you kind of start seeing this orange line start to curve up, right? So you see this starting to curve up. This is a way to front run price action, but it's risky. So I would make sure you really know what you're doing, especially in how these coins interact with the Zox and blah, 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 before you try to front run. But a lot of I'll show you hopefully a better chart. A lot of times you'll see it start to curve up, and as soon as it starts to curve up, it's an uptrend. But as you guys can see, as soon as it starts to curve up, it was a downtrend, a little downtrend. So what I expect is a little bit of delay. Maybe we come back up. It would be awesome if we touch this resistance or support again, right? Because it's 1, 2, huge dip, right? 3, 4, then we'd be able to take off. If not, you will be able to buy in about, I'd say these two right here and right here are market structures. You can buy in anytime here if it seems like it's going to break up. But nonetheless, always be safe and wait for this break right here. Right? So you zoom out again, kind of see a W here. I just saw that right now. But as you can see, quite a bit of difference. So maybe forget that. So what I would do is if you're not in Skull and you're interested in Skull, that's what it's called, right? Or scale, it's called scale. So what I would do is place a buy in this little area right there. So everything right here, that'd be your buy zone. And then we're hoping for a bounce up and what? Another date with market structure. Because that's how we make money, is identifying these things. So your answer, brother, for scale, midterm, I'd say secure yourself close to a double somewhere in this area. If you do want to hold it, not a double, sorry, 50%, 50%. Not quite a double yet. Okay. Now let me show you S and X. I'm going to show you S and X because it's a quirky chart. By quirky, let me show you what I mean. This is hard to get into, you know. It's not, there's not much patterns. Let's see what the Zoc says. So let's delete the RSI just to not make you guys confused. As you can see, it's still in a buy signal. It's been in a buy signal for the last week or so. It dipped down a little bit over here. And as you can see, it predicted it pretty well. And then you bought in right about the break of the neck level right here. So that was perfect. Ever since then, it's been going up, right? So what we could expect for something like S and X, you really want to zoom out. The reason why you want to zoom out is you see something that a lot of, like Sushi has the same chart, 1 inch kind of has the same chart. A lot of these coins that you can stake and DeFi lending protocol, something like that, they're gonna have something that it's called a parabolic arc. And I'll have to find the excuse me. I'll have to find the article on it that will help you guys understand a little bit better than I can explain it. But it happens a lot in bull markets, and you can see support is kind of bouncing off this curve, right? So you 1 touch, 2, just about 3. Maybe I'll drag it a little bit more. See, it's not perfect. 1, 2, almost 3, 4, 5. So this is the make or break. So since there's really no pattern on this, guys, right? Because I don't know. You see any patterns? I see an M and it kept going up. Little W, maybe a little W here. It already kind of touched support, which previous support was just under $20. And now what you're waiting to see is if it continues to go up. Oh, actually, look what I found here. Head and shoulders. And you see the little W. So a lot, a lot of bullish patterns in here. But while respecting this parabolic arc, parabolic curve, parabolic move, whatever it may be. But this is what we're thinking. Again, remember, we can't predict the future. We're only taking the past and trying to help us prepare for the future. Maybe that's the best way. You see, every time price action comes close or hits this yellow line of support, what does it do? Usually jumps up, right? There's demand for it. So say scale hits right here, it could come up. And what we can do is find out maybe exactly where it would. Let me draw the fib, right? First thing that we do. I wouldn't buy right here. I would wait for support or just wait for resistance. I mean, you can if you plan to hold it midterm, but nonetheless, this would be my first targets. One right there, one right there. And from this point, from all-time high, that's about 50%. And again, this is just moving straight arc like, right? Now let me go to the 1 inch chart and let's see if we find something similar. Look, exactly like that. So we could draw another parabolic arc, right? Curve, whatever you want to call it. And for the most part, man, look at that. is following it too. Multiple touches, right? Squeeze this up a little bit. Multiple touches. So a sell signal on something like this is when you get price action with good volume start to fall out of here. Remember, this is only the 4 hour. So if you sell on a break on the 4 hour here, on the 12 hour, it could just bounce back up and leave an entire wick, and you have to buy in earlier. So you just gave away a little bit of your money, right? So now we're looking for a bounce. We're basically looking for a bounce off this level up. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit off. I'm not perfect, but we're looking for a bounce up. If not, there's a bearish pattern playing out. Just so you guys know, remember we got to do, where's the trash can? We'll leave that. So we're looking to make another move from this point. Nice. Great gains, great gains. So touches here, we're waiting for a bounce up. Entry point, aggressive, safer. So I'll mark that here as well. By the breakout, safest way to ensure good position of this line. Now let's look at Zox. We've been good, you know, we've been pretty good. Not enough volume yet on 1 inch for the day pattern. Now let's go to sushi. So those two charts look the same, right? Now check this. It's identical, right? I mean, maybe a little different, but it's identical to the 1 inch chart, right? Again, look at this, guys. We're getting these parabolic arcs. So this is a sign of a bull market. If you want to get in on any of these, remember, broken resistance is always good support. So maybe like right here. Honestly, Balancer's in a great spot if you're looking long term. If you're looking long term, you know you got ways to go. You got ways to go up. So let's go. Let's do this fib. And then after this, I'll sign off. Actually getting tired out of nowhere. I don't know why. And you can see market structure right here, just about on the 236. This is just above the 236. If you had to, you could just buy in right now. Set your stop loss for below this, right? But you could buy right now. And since it broke through, this is what we'll do. Actually, this would be a great example of a cup and handle. So I've seen a couple of people ask about a couple handle. Goes from September 2nd to this month is 6 months. So this is definitely either a double bottom or candle or a cup and handle playing out. Usually cup and handles need, what was my mentor's advice? About 5 weeks. Yeah. Sorry, I completely lost what my train of thought there. So disregard what I just said, but let's see. So about 6 months. Now, what we would want to see, now that we have this, usually the cup and handle is about a third of the time. So if it does form a cup and handle, you don't want it to drop any below 50% of this move, which the fib already tells you what it is. So you wouldn't want it to go any below that right there. So let's say it comes down, right? Starts around, then come back up, and it's ready to test. Now that would be a cup and handle. And the same way you do a W, that's the breakout point. You're going to take the deepest point of the cup, you're gonna come up, you're gonna pull it to the breakout point. Let's say it breaks out there, and boom, it takes you to the 618 again. But this could take months. It could take months, it could take weeks, but it's gonna take some time. So again, this cup and handle, right? It would probably go out even longer too. Maybe it would go like right here, right? This is a really bullish pattern. So whether it breaks out this way or this way, just wait and see. I guess you could wait and see about the breakout here. I don't know if it is breaking out. It's close. It's like right on the line, right? Right on the line. So that would be the cup and handle. I mean, it's a great chart, but if you guys have seen anything, most of these tokens that are going to be doing great, the DeFi exchanges of some sort, liquidity pool mining, something, you're going to start seeing them just start to stack up, So again, you would want to wait for a retracement to here or here and be able to buy in. That'd be an aggressive buy. Or if it falls, you would wait for a breakout here. Volume is good as well. So balancer is seems legitimate. Let's actually get the buy signal up and look at that. If you would have just followed the buy signal, man, you would have bought the 786. 2 weeks, you're up 162%. Nice. Hell yeah, nice. You know what? Let me clarify for you. This is not a W, and the reason being, this middle part where it starts to curve, not a textbook W anyway, starts to curve, come back up. Usually, general rule of thumb is it's halfway, right? And this is barely 30%, 40%. So they want something around here. They want something around here. In terms of successfully finding and validifying a double bottom. So remember, double bottom, I'll write it down for you guys. And we're actually about wrapping up here pretty soon. Double bottom needs 2 bottoms, obviously. Bottoms cannot be give or take. Or I could say plus or minus. Plus or minus 10% from each other. Midway point. Man, my typing sucks today. Midway point. Midway point, so we're middle of W. Should be around 50% of total W, right? Total W or the total pattern. So about 50%, right? All right. So I'll post these charts in the graph, this one, the skull one, got some other ones to post. I appreciate you guys. And we will talk soon. I know this one was a little bit all over the place. Obviously, I was kind of studying and then everything happened with Canoe, but definitely wanted to do something in the morning for all the our people on the other side. I will do more of these.